QT Marshall has won more AEW matches than he has lost AEW matches. This is the most disturbing thing we've seen in all of AEW this week, and yes, I include Christian Cage's promo in that thing there. And I don't know about you, but I feel you need to grab two of each animal and head to the closest border because the end has already arrived. The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh, nigh. Rest in piss, Lance Archer's mohawk, which was brutally murdered via squishing as he landed on the ring mat right on the top of his tet. That's French for head. That man there is walking to the professional wrestling ring with a bottle of whiskey in his hand. And I don't know about you, dear viewer, but I find that incredibly irresponsible on the part of the event's organisers, even if that fella there is merely just trying to raise his spirits. How the bloody hell did that get there? In the name of Jesus Christ that gave Miro his sandy neck, can somebody just tell the ass boys where the piss in hell they are just before they go out for their entrance? Although I guess with the amount of times their dad turned during his career, there's little wonder the ass boys do not know where they are. He's a heel, he's a face, he's a heel, he's a face to the Alamo.
It's Jim Ross, bitch. By God, I did it again.
I was balls deep in some barbecue chicken wings, watching some John Wayne, and I missed the start of the show, by God! And then we got to the moment where in real time we saw Dax Harwood hit an elbow drop, an offensive maneuver of his own on the ring mat, and as a result of his own maneuver, get injured, providing us, of course, fans, what am I saying here? Providing all of us professional wrestling journalists and experts at home, with the final conclusive proof that AEW Cross NJPW Forbidden Door is the most cursed professional wrestling show in the history of cursed professional wrestling shows. Basically, this thing should never ever happen again, and I'm just so relieved that nobody else on the card got injured after Dax Harwood did. And I know a lot of people are saying that Dax Harwood injury thing wasn't even real, just like the professional wrestling itself, but if it wasn't real, I think that's a WTF moment as well. In this sea of actual injuries that is happening at the moment, why oh why, Tony Khan, you big old injury pervert, would you make a fake one as well? My voice is gone, it's hay fever season, and the Cultaholic triple jump summer party, it went off, so it did. I'm too old to be drinking 2 nights in a row now. And by the way, by calling Tony Khan an injury pervert, I'm not here to king shame, but it would appear that nobody, and I mean nobody, loves a pulled muscle like Tony Khan does, the dirty bastard. And next up we have Kevin Kelly claiming that Cash Wheeler was being wheeled get it, everybody? Wheel to the back, even though when Kevin Kelly said that line, Cash Wheeler was playing the part of Jeff Cobb's little bitch. And I know Kevin Kelly, everybody watching last night's show, missed JR dearly in the opening portion when he wasn't there, but there's no need for you to be stealing his gimmick of naming a professional wrestler anything, and I mean anything but their actual name. Sting is 63 years of age and clearly off his tits and his lips at the same time. So much toot going through the Stinger's veins because it feels like, oh, my voice is gone, every single time we see him on one of these big AEW events that isn't a Dynamite, he's jumping off something massive. He's 63 years old, man. His entrance last night went from almost pensioner saying, oh, how the bloody hell did I get up here? Hey, young man, have you seen my bus pass? To all of a sudden, whoa, I'm a gnarly Jeff Hardy, me, cowabunga, and yeet. But never, ever in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd see Sting's nipples being tweaked on a live professional wrestling show. AEW Cross New Japan Pro Wrestling, get it on Pornhub now. But then we saw Sting, that saucy little minx, go right back to Phantasma's areolas and give them a little tickle. It was absolutely fantastic to see, and so much of a WTF moment in the midst of this puro rezo showcase. Well, I guess the old saying goes, doesn't it? It's tit for tit.
It's Jim Ross, bitch. By God, I did it again.
So in the midst of seeing this unsuccessful pinfall attempt by Orange Cassidy last night, and JR, he pipes up and says, I don't know how close that was, but it was damn sure past 3.5. And I'm thinking to myself, Jim, as my voice gets even worse, I'm no Carol Vorderman, but that's a load of bollocks. That man there could well be dead, but he isn't, and he was there last night. Now, admittedly, admittedly, I don't wank off New Japan Pro Wrestling as hard or as vigorously as some people like to wank off New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I know the story of Shibata, and the fact that he was there, those opening notes of his theme, the crowd going mental, him walking out, laying some fools out, it was beautiful and brought a tear to my eye. And my dick. I tell you everybody, he took that forbidden door and he bit its knob off. Yeah. And speaking of dicks, Big Dick Tony then arrived and he gave everybody in the arena with a working dick a massive dick in the form of a stiffy for a few seconds at least. It was wonderful. We all had ever so slightly bigger penises while we saw Big Dick Tony, who has a big penis anyway, if you listen to Sheamus. And I don't want to be that guy thinking, oh, let's have a go at WWE now, but I couldn't help but think when I saw Big Dick Tony's lovely, shiny head. That one. I couldn't help but think about that little interview Vince McMahon did way back in the day where he said, translated roughly back into English as Cesaro can't connect with the fans. That's a load of bollocks, Vince. What's wrong with you? You're xenophobe. I said it. You know it's true. Fight me, Vince. Oh, yeah. Oh. Now, for the longest time, of course, a lot of people who have watched AEW have believed that that cameraman there has been Claudio Castagnoli, and when it came time for Claudio's debut in AEW, that cameraman right there, he would go, whoo, he would go, hello, then boof, uppercut some bitch, and that'd be how you would arrive in AEW. Had a stroke. I did, had a stroke. That's how he would arrive in AEW. But last night, we actually learned that cameraman there is merely Claudio Castagnoli's brother, Cloud Ezekiel.
It's Jim Ross, bitch. By God, I did it again.
Can't Rick Knox see it? By God, he's looking right at it, said Jim Ross as Rick Knox was doing nothing there. And it would appear that two wrongs make a WTF in this sort of scenario because yes, Rick Knox technically was doing some wrong by not ejecting Ghetto for getting hold of Hangman Page's legs. He was interfering, he was being a naughty boy, and he should have been sent to the naughty step. But then Rick Knox might be right. Oh my God, is this the first ever time Rick Knox has been right in AEW history? Smack my arse and spit in my eye, it might just be. He could be right because of course 4 ways are no DQ, so technically Ghetto is not breaking any rules. At the end of the day, does any of this matter? No, it doesn't. Not at all. Now, obviously, at the end of that 4-way match, something wasn't right with Adam Cole, which meant everybody involved called an audible and ended that match way earlier than it should have ended. That's what I'm reading from the situation, everybody, because not only am I an All Japan Pro Wrestling expert, but I also wrestled for New Japan Pro Wrestling between 1974 and 84, so I just know, okay? But on a more serious note, obviously they wouldn't end a match like that if everybody was A-OK to continue. So everybody here at Cultaholic obviously sends their best wishes to Adam Cole, who might have suffered a shoulder injury or a concussion. Either way, it's not bad. Hopefully he recovers as soon as he wants to. Wants to? As soon as he... Just let him recover. And if you're wondering what was happening during the main event that caused everybody in the arena and Jon Moxley and the referee inside the ring to look over yonder, apparently 2 fans in the crowd, I say fans like that because it would appear they're a pair of walking whoppers, so they are, a pair of WTF moments that were starting fights and starting on security guards and whatnot, and they were in the process of getting kicked out. Up there's... I don't know what that was there, but up there's all the same. You pair of walking whoppers, your WTF moments, yeah. Right then, this is how it went down. Boots to the head, then a sling blade, then Moxley's on the floor, and then we see that. Now Tanahashi, as far as I could see, was not slaying Queen, yes, by wearing some stilettos to wrestle Jon Moxley in that AEW Interim World Championship match. And as far as I could see as well, he didn't have long false nails on. Slay Queen, yes, slay Queen Tanahashi. He wasn't having long nails on either to cause a slice to happen during the sling blade. You know how he would do it with long nails. So we've got to ask the question then, don't we? What's happened to Jon Moxley when he's rolled out that ring, got to the floor and started pissing blood out of his forehead? Oh my God, Hornswoggle. He's the only one who lives under the ring, isn't he? Now, at the end of the night, did anyone else have to slap themselves in the face very hard indeed to remind themselves, no, they weren't watching AEW Dynamite on a Wednesday, and no, they weren't watching WCW 2000 back in 2000? Because I did. I slapped myself really hard, right in the face. It explains a lot, doesn't it? Yes, it does, yeah. And I've seen a lot of people online saying the ending ruined the entire pay-per-view last night, and I'm here to say, of course it bloody didn't. On the evidence of last night, AEW X NJPW Forbidden Door should be a yearly thing. Last night was fantastic. It was a massive, big, juicy cake, right up until the end, when at the bottom of that cake, when you've eaten the rest of the cake, you're on the brink of a coma, you see a wasp right in the last bite, but you don't take the last bite, but it's fine, because the rest of the cake, it was so nice, you don't care there was a wasp there, and you're full anyway. There was so much wrestling last night, so much cake. There was so much, I love cake. And obviously, I guess it was done to fill the time that was lost due to Adam Cole's injury. So I guess fair play to AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling for giving the fans something. For nothing, I don't know what to make of it. It was weird, yes it was. But was it bad? Yes it was. Did it ruin the night? No it didn't. I'll tell you, I slapped myself really hard in the head. And of course, we've got to end by sending a massive thank you to Chicago Red and Jason Wilkinson for spreading the good name of Cultaholic throughout the AEW cosmos. Bet that's something that catches on. Next time you go to a show, do what they did. So that's it for AEW X NJPW Forbidden Door 2022 WTF Moments. As I said, a massive big fat cake of lovely wrestling until you get to the end. There's a little bit of poo or a wasp at the bottom, but you don't care because you're full up of the rest of the lovely cake. A fantastic night. We should all acknowledge Orange Cassidy Ospreay, my match of the night. Absolutely fantastic stuff. How did he kick out of everything, eh? How did he kick out of everything? If you want to leave a comment, please do so. It's the best way to support Cultaholic Wrestling for free. Drop us a like if you're feeling extra fruity. Give it a share. Go on Facebook, go on Twitter, go on Instagram, MySpace, all the social medias. Give it a share there. It'll help us along dearly. I'm going to die now, so I'll see you next time.